committee, the General Oversight Committee. So this is what I just pasted this morning. I went over this with Heather yesterday. I haven't had a chance to finish the formatting, but some of the objectives for the GO committee for year one, basically you may be involved with one or more of the following. One of the first objectives is organizational identity, finalizing the name, mission, vision, etc. Evaluating the needs of an online community, advertising for and choosing a volunteer executive director. The idea is that we want to choose an executive director that's actually going to go about and help bring in funds rather than us getting it together, $50,000 or $100,000 for their first year's salary or something like that, or 2 years salary, and then trying to hire them. So we want a self-starter and someone that's a little bit of a risk taker and bold, but an entrepreneur. Meanwhile, we'll also want to develop the board of directors, help the executive director draft the strategic plan, the one-page business plan, identify potential funding opportunities, help the executive director advertise and guide the public release. And I'll point out that we have yet to do a public release of the decision support system. And the decision support system is more than just a concept right now. It's actually a working prototype, which really gleaning over here. I think we have some webinars that detail it in much more detail. But basically, it's in Model Builder, and it does, Chris, for your benefit, basically it does what the RCG does, but it does it automatically. You just basically take all your input data, press a few buttons, runs overnight, gives you the answers, which are support system answers, not the answers of what we have to do to save the world. And then as new data comes in, you can go ahead and update it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm working, I'm actually trying to clear my plate enough to be able to work hard on the side on actually writing up the publication of the decision support system, submitting it to a top peer-reviewed journal, getting that published. And once that's published, then we're going to go ahead and do our public release and really advertise this and get this out there. In the meantime, we just have to keep doing a soft release, which we've been doing so far, which is a presentation once or twice a year to scientific communities of what it's all about. So once we do the public release, what are we going to need? We're going to need to refine our public web page, look at different other advertising avenues, and go from there. So as far as the GO committee commitment, right now we're in first year, so it's just really mellow. But it's it's up to you to define how much time and energy you put into it. You can participate in any one of these above objectives. Some examples are talking to friends at parties that might be good candidates for executive director or some other aspect of the organization, making a wiki page about something, posting a blog about the conversation you had last night at the party, when you come across cool online communities, posting those. We have a discussion thread going on that, looking to learn from other people, helping to refine this presentation itself with videos, images, diagrams. Eventually what I'm giving right now, we're going to want to refine that into a nice little video that we can post on the public page. And looking at online meetings, I think what we should try and do this is bi-monthly now. We're thinking about doing it once a month, but let's do it bi-monthly while we're in first year. We could do the same time slot, though, and we could actually have, during the off months, we can actually get together and have online working sessions, something like that, experiment with that. Social events, hopefully before SCGIS every year, we can have a day or two to have meetings and parties, social events, and hopefully somewhere in the Bay Area annually. So real quickly, I also wanted to be clear about my role and Heather's role, and then I think we want to kind of open it up for discussion and then housekeeping. So my role, when I pasted this in from the Word document, it didn't paste in very well. Let me just go to the Word document. So the big point, there's a few points here. It's not really formatted very well, but right now I'm starting off as think what's best is for me to start off as Deputy Director. Deputy is the key word here in the fact that I don't want this to be my job. And I have a full-time job with the Wilderness Society that's fantastic. I'm really excited about. And so the idea is to get this up and running and pass this off. My targeted role is to be a board member and to be one of the users and the user and developer group. And that's the big message here. What was that? Okay, just a little feedback. And then Heather's role, her initial role has been being the online community architect, and she's not an administrator. She's so much more than that. And she's been doing this as a volunteer. She's the Web Oversight Committee chair. She'll get into that briefly when she introduces a little bit more about the site in a minute. She's also been administering the website, doing research and development about the website, like what's possible, what are different platforms that we could use, what are the hosting possibilities, and of course, well, not of course, but I want to make it clear to everybody that she's hoping to make this a paid position, and I think she's a great candidate for a paid position. And so, we'll figure out what that is and where that fits in, and as time evolves. One other point I forgot to mention is right now, one of the other things we should probably put up here is to maintain seed funding for our online site. I guess that goes over here on the site itself. So what we want to do is right now we're paying about $250 a month and for hosting this web software. And so what we want to do is maintain that. We have that for another 2 or 3 months or something like that. So we need to figure out that amount of fundraising kind of in the near term. So something like that. And all right, so let's go ahead and pass this over to Heather, and we're going to spend about 5 minutes or so just giving a real quick overview of what's going on. Hopefully a couple of people have been able to join us. Let me unmute them if I can. And let's go ahead and switch over to Heather's screen. Okay, so we're trying a brand new software today. And let's see, Heather, you have your hand raised. Now, do we have to, okay, I think I just make you a presenter.